Did you know that in total silence, a child's ears become biological radar? They pick up even the movement of dust motes in the air. Science calls it hypervigilance. But for a child left home alone, it's a curse. It's a curse that makes their own heartbeat sound like someone pounding on the door from the inside. Tonight, we aren't talking about ghost stories. We're diving into 4 true cases where the quiet of the home turned into a deadly trap. Cases where the only thing between survival and vanishing was just a few millimeters of wood. I want you to close your eyes for a second. Remember that sound you heard when you were a kid? That scratching behind your closet that your mom promised was just the wind? Are you sure about that? Tell me in the comments, what's the strangest thing you ever heard while you were alone? Let's see how many of us were actually sharing the house with someone else without even knowing it. Story 1. Ethan and the Visitor in the Walls. Ethan was only 10 years old. He was sitting in the living room with a book in his hand. The house was drowning in a heavy, suffocating silence. Suddenly, he heard a metallic click. Then came a dragging sound from the floor vent right under the sofa. For him, this wasn't just a strange noise. It was rhythmic. It sounded like something was crawling inside the walls with great effort. When he looked toward the hallway, he saw the light from the kitchen hitting the floor. But something cut through that light. A long, wide shadow that didn't move. It wasn't an optical illusion. It was the cold truth that froze the blood in his veins. Someone was standing in the pitch-black corner, watching him in silence. Ethan remembered that small window in the basement. The one where the lock had been broken since last summer. He crawled under the bed, clutching the house phone. With trembling fingers, he called 911. He didn't dare say a word. He could hear strange breaths approaching the edge of the bed. The nightmare only ended when the police stormed the house. They found a stranger hiding behind his bedroom curtains. The man was holding a long screwdriver in his hand. Advice: learn to distinguish between pipes expanding and the deliberate movement of heavy objects. Check your basement locks every week without fail. In case of an intrusion, call the police and leave the line open without speaking. Sometimes, silence is your loudest scream. Story 2. Chloe and the Missing Spare Key. In the quiet suburbs of Ohio, Chloe was sitting home alone. Then she heard the sound of a key turning in the front door. She thought her mother had come home early. She called out to her, but there was no answer. Only the sound of heavy footsteps heading toward the kitchen. The real shock came when she saw her mother's purse still sitting on the table. Whoever just walked in was using a copy of the key her mother had lost days ago. Chloe began a game of hide-and-seek she never chose to play. She crawled across the carpet and hid in the attic through the bathroom ceiling hatch. Through a small crack, Chloe looked down. She was horrified by what she saw in the hallway mirror. The intruder was wearing her mother's jacket, the one that had vanished with the keys. He was sitting calmly on the sofa as if he owned the place. The police later discovered that this man had been entering the house every single day. He came in at the exact hour her mother left for work. He knew Chloe's routine down to the second. He had turned her private life into a reality show for himself from behind the garden fence. Advice: if a house key goes missing, change the locks immediately. Do not just search for the key, replace the cylinder. Get rid of hidden keys outside the house. Change your daily routine constantly to confuse anyone studying your movements. Randomness is your best protection. Story 3. Tyler and the Digital Voice. In Tyler's house, the baby monitor in his little sister's room started making a strange buzzing noise. It wasn't just radio static. It sounded like cloth rubbing against plastic. Then, suddenly, came the sound of heavy breathing. Breathing that did not belong to a baby. Tyler froze when a voice spoke his name through the monitor with terrifying precision. "Tyler, go and open the back door." It wasn't a natural human voice. It was a distorted, metallic sound coming through the hacked device. Tyler realized someone was watching him through the camera. They were directing him toward a trap waiting at the back door. Instead of obeying, Tyler pulled the router's power cord. He cut the connection to the digital intruder who was already standing outside. When the police arrived, they found footprints around every exit of the house. The hacker was using technology to pave his way inside. Advice: change the default passwords on any internet-connected device immediately. If a smart device makes an unexplained sound, unplug it. Do not give them an eye or an ear inside your home. Story 4. Madison and the Hidden Guest. Madison loved reading in the quiet, but she started noticing small, strange things. An open milk carton on the table, a book that had moved to a different shelf, a faint sound coming from the attic at night. She convinced herself it was just her imagination, until one stormy night, she saw water dripping from the attic hatch onto her rug. It wasn't raining inside. Those drops were from the wet shoes of someone standing there. Standing in the dark, right above her head. Madison held her breath as she saw the attic ladder slowly descend. A strange man began to climb down while staring directly at her bed. Madison escaped through the window to her neighbor's house. The man was found searching under her pillow. It turned out he had been living in her attic for over a month. He only came out when she was asleep or when the family was away. He survived on their leftovers and watched their every private moment. Advice: watch for tiny changes in your personal items or unexplained missing food. Secure attic and basement entrances with internal locks. Perform a security audit of every corner of your home. Neglected spaces are a paradise for intruders. Conclusion. Tonight, we saw how moments of quiet can hide storms of danger. A strong lock, awareness of strange sounds, and caution with technology are the foundations of safety today. Remember, your home is where you should feel safe. Never let that right be taken away. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and lock your doors tight. Tonight and every night. Disclaimer: this content is for entertainment and awareness purposes only. It is not professional legal or security advice. Consult a qualified expert to secure your home.